So Faith Goldy is now shilling for the CPC. She's actually defending and glorifying Lisa Raitt. She's Lisa Raitt, the globalist liberal that had a meeting with the NCCM. Insanity. Anyways, we're gonna go over this video.
Okay, Canada, it's time to get serious. 2019 is a national election year, and the numbers aren't looking so hot if you're a right-winger. Sure, Trudeau is dipping a bit in the polls, but lest we forget that 1, polls are a meme, and 2, it only took 39% of the electorate to propel our post-national leader to majority governing status. As optimistic as the CPC and PPC voters alike might be, the reality is right-wing vote splitting could very well spell the kiss of death for we up here in Canada.
Okay, first of all, splitting the conservative vote, there's only one truly conservative party, and that is the People's Party of Canada. Because the CPC, which I call the Conservative Party of Canada, is not. Andrew Scheer actually declared the CPC a pragmatic centrist party. And if you want to read that, just Google search Sun News. There will be a clear choice, Andrew Scheer, and it will come up. It's in that article. I'll leave it in the description.
You needn't be a genius to see that splitting our vote will result in one of 2 scenarios. Worst case, a re-elected Liberal government. And take it from an Ontario politics veteran, Gerald Butts will see to it that this happens. Let's not forget having Butts for brains spells majority status even after billions in boondoggles. Or, best case scenario, a Conservative Party minority, in which case a coalition with the PPC down the road will be inevitable if the Conservatives ever wish to get a budget passed. So here is the $64 million question. Why risk electoral loss to the Liberals when even a minority Conservative win spells inevitable partnership with the PPC, when Scheer can jump the gun, officially merge with the PPC, and guarantee a strong, stable, united Conservative government?
This is crazy, coming from Faith Goldy. The one that doesn't want to compromise on anything is now shilling. It blows my mind. The CPC and Andrew Scheer do not share her values. They censor and shut down speech on abortion in their own party. They are pro-mass immigration, and they pander to minority groups.
Of course, politics, much like junior high, is about fragile personalities and tempering the rumor mill, so any path to merger status would have to be executed flawlessly. So to ensure both sides are content enough to cease the infighting and everyone can just direct their gaze to the real enemy, Justin Trudeau, Gerald Butts, and their globalist yes men, and of course, women.
This is crazy. We already had the leadership race, and what happened was there was over 7,000 ballot discrepancy. You can read that anywhere. And what did CPC do? Destroy the ballots so we couldn't get to the bottom of it. The CPC is corrupt.
I understand one of the priorities for you was to have a cabinet that was gender balanced. Why was that so important to you?
Because it's 2015.
Here's how I would handle the merger. Maxime Bernier has worked his derriere off establishing EDAs in every riding across the country. He's an obvious Chad who has the chops to get the job done. No more relegations to the backbench. Right-wing Canadians will need to see him on screen, seated beside Andrew Scheer in the House of Commons, to show that this is truly a united Conservative Party for the people. Scheer must name Bernier deputy leader, which will mean Lisa Raitt might get ticked off, but she's always struck me as a tough cookie who's a team player, so I imagine she'll survive.
Lisa Raitt is a tough cookie and team player. Now we have Faith Goldy pandering to Lisa Raitt. This is insane. Lisa Raitt was caught pandering to the NCCM, which is a radical Islamic organization that is trying to spread the Islamophobia agenda, and also lobbying for anti-integration policies. And they also push putting Islamifying children in school, in public schools. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is a radical organization. And Lisa Ray openly, pandering to them. Oh, let's try to get their votes. Morally and intellectually corrupt.
Behind the scenes, Scheer must offer Bernier a cabinet post, which beats his alternative title and pay grade as third or fourth party in opposition. Personally, I'd love to see him handle immigration, though Michelle Rempel might quite rightfully have a thing or two to say about that. Or fine, put him in trade. Other than that, any promise of portfolio would basically be an insult to his brand and his potential. As for Max's EDAs, they would get swallowed into the newly branded Conservative Party, which we'll get to in a second, and anyone who doesn't like that arrangement, well, they can take a hike.
Like, I don't know what fate is thinking here. Like, why? Why would Bernier get behind the pragmatic, centrist, liberal-lite Andrew Scheer? Like, Andrew Scheer is a weak and ineffective leader, which Maxime has gone over and over and over again, said the same thing over and over. Like, he cannot be trusted as leader of any conservative party.
Until election day, in which case you know that they'll be casting a ballot against Justin Trudeau anyway. As for the nomination races which have already taken place in advance of the by-elections, I would quietly make a deal with these fine lasses which states they can have the ridings of their choosing under a united Conservative Party umbrella come October. Now, this brings us to policy. On paper, there is a great deal that these two right-wing parties agree on, which makes uniting around a common platform all the easier. Here are the marquee platform pledges I want to see from the United Conservative Party of Canada.
United Conservative Party of Canada. That makes me cringe. Like, Jason Kenney has just been exposed, corrupting the entire process of the leadership race in Alberta. Like, corruptly, committing fraud, like, and she wants to take their party name and make it the federal one. Like, makes me cringe.
1. Withdraw Canada from the UN Migrant Compact. Canada already has immigration and refugee programs in place. No citizen was ever asked if we want in on a globalist diktat which makes all migration from anywhere to anywhere a human right, let alone if we wanted to take a leading role in the damn thing. Remove our nation's signature and regain control of our national borders.
Withdraw Canada from the Global Compact for Migration. Guess what? Maxime Bernier sponsored a petition and got 55,000 signatures before Andrew Scheer said, oh man, you know what, maybe we better hop on and get on the Maxime Bernier anti-UN train and get on this 6 days before it's signed. Because you know what? We're real conservatives. I bet you he had to go to his focus groups and get that decision made for him.
Number 2. Declare the 49th parallel an official port of entry. A single signature would thus seal the gaping illegal entryways into Canada, such as Roxham Road, where 95% of our illegals enter, by the way. Our RCMP officers would then be swapped out for CBSA officers, who would then be compelled to deport illegal border crossers, as opposed to acting like some lame bellhops before we place them on, oh, you know, social assistance. As for the border jumpers already here, well, the United Conservative Party of Canada must retroactively declare them a, quote, mass arrival so that officials can detain every single migrant who has or will illegally enter and hold them until fast-track decision is made about their claim.
You know what? Maxime, during the leadership race, already said he'd send military to the border to stop them from coming in. Like,
Number 3, declare a 3-year moratorium on immigration before reducing our numbers from current runaway rates during the final year of office. This, despite what the CPC tells you, will be tremendously popular among Canadians who agree newcomers are coming too quickly to too kind of populace while doing too little to fit in. And frankly, this is the only compassionate move to assist our overstretched immigration bureaucrats who are about a decade behind in processing legal and illegal migrants alike.
PPC is the only party that wants to reduce immigration to 250,000 per year. There's no other major party that is willing to do that.
Once the moratorium timeframe is expired, the strong, stable, united Conservative majority might select a new rate of immigration, including current proposals like a decreased rate and an end to birth tourism, relying on the recommendations of experts, not the lamestream media. Number 4, and the carbon tax. More so than supply management, our new tax on pollution pixie dust will do nothing to concretely affect so-called global warming, but will affect the pocketbooks of Canadians belonging to every single economic class. End it. Finito. Dunzo. Bye-bye. No more carbon tax thanks to the merged mensches in government.
Can you really name one person that's a conservative other than Michael Chong that actually supports a carbon tax? No. Like, why would you even bring this up in the video? Like, it's so stupid.
Number 5, build pipelines. Well, this one's pretty self-explanatory. We invested billions of taxpayer dollars and accepted billions from private industry to create jobs and infrastructure, which have yet to be realized. Do what Harper didn't. Build something that future Liberal parties can't just disappear within 2 years of obtaining office. Number 6, establish free trade between our provinces. It's insane that there is perpetual media buzz about internal free trade agreements when Canada doesn't even have free trade between our own domestic market. This is a winner for every province. It's a no-brainer. Just sign the document and make it a reality. Number 7, a new deal on supply management. What's needed here is a Donald-level deal wherein both Scheer and Bernier can bring the pledge back to their respective groups, slating it as a win. Both parties will need to make concessions, but this business of having the fate of Canada rest in the dairy cartel's hands is bizarre, it's absurd, it's corrupt, and it absolutely must come to an end. Grow up, the both of you, and make a deal.
Now, the reason Canada got stiffed in the NAFTA deal is, as Donald Trump said, Canada has treated U.S. farmers bad for too long. And what that means is the 270% tariff that Canada puts on dairy. And that is why he put the tariffs on the aluminum and steel from Canada. Like, we are screwed now on aluminum and steel. And that is written into the new trade deal. And the reason for that tariff is all because of supply management.
Number 8, it's time for a rebrand. Butts has 2 cards up his sleeve when it comes to the CPC, name-calling and likening them to Harper. A rebrand would offer Canadians a fresh alternative, a clear break from Harper, even if it's a name and optics only. That stuff matters. Think big, a new name, a new hue of blue, something sexy, something high energy, something distinctly un-Harper. A clean slate that the whole united Conservative Party can get excited about.
I got a new brand for you. How about the Conservative Party of Canada? And Pandering Andy, Weak Scheer. That about sums it up for that.
Number 9, launch an all-out assault on the elites and media. What does this look like practically? Well, announce an end to the media bailout and a total defunding of the CBC. Right-wingers in this nation are waking up to the fact that the media truly are the enemy of the people. Should the United Conservative Party have any hope of achieving its agenda, or future success for that matter, the gatekeepers in the MSM must be removed from life support. No more handouts to the lamestream media when middle-class Canadians can barely afford cauliflower.
Now, who wants to defund the CBC? Oh wait, that would be Brad Trost, who they ousted from the party, and Maxime Bernier. Who else wants to defund the CPC? No, no one else. And you know what? They won't even make a policy for that.
Number 10. Well, finally, this is a note more about timeline than it is policy. For the maximum chance of success, this merger process must begin very soon. Before Parliament sits in January would be ideal, but before Parliament breaks for the summer break at the very, very latest. A party merger will be a delicate process internally, that much goes without saying. However, as far as the media goes, I'd say fuck them.
You're such a smart ass.
Both parties are trying to save the country from further doom, and that's what unites us and what really matters.
Both parties are trying to save Canada from certain doom. No, that's only the PPC.
Thanks everyone for watching, I so appreciate it. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe below, and hey, head over to faithgoldy.ca/donations to help support my work.
Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you can make a sound decision and totally reject the CPC in this video, because there will not be a merger and the Conservative Party of Canada will not survive. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell.